Welcome to Inside the Force. I'm Greg Grunberg, a.k.a. Snap Wexley.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello everybody.
Welcome. Hope everybody had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Case?
I did.
Yeah, you were even off work today.
Yeah, extended it a little bit. Yeah.
Those of us slaved back to work today. And I had a good weekend myself. I was compelled this weekend. It's funny when I have like not too much to do on the weekends, usually I'm obviously doing stuff with the fam, but if I find myself just kind of sitting on the couch, I'm like, I got to throw in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So threw a little Force Awakens in,
Yeah.
which I keep forgetting, and I probably shouldn't be saying this on the air, but we owe a commentary
Yes.
for episode 7
That's right.
that we haven't done, like we said we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I promise we will do that. Yeah, we got to get that done, especially before Rogue One comes out. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because we are 100 days.
100. 100.
I didn't even know that until you pointed it out.
Yeah, I just saw it on Star Wars Instagram account today.
Yeah, so
At the day that we are recording this, which is
September 6th.
It's 100 days out.
So we are 100 days out
Woo.
from Rogue One. Pretty awesome. I mean, the release date is December 16th. Obviously, it'll be out the night before, usually, but we'll see it Thursday night, and then we'll see it. I already made plans. We're going to get a theater again for Friday, so we'll see it Thursday and Friday, and then probably through the weekend, I'm sure. All right, so a little slow in the Star Wars news. Obviously, we'll get to kind of a little rundown of the merchandise that's coming out, but what news we got here for films?
Not too much. Still a little slow right now. Just kind of, I'll follow a lot of the Star Wars actors on Instagram and Twitter. Mark Hamill posts a lot. He just posted, I guess it was last week. He shaved his beard again. He's saying how he's finally rid. He hasn't gone without a beard since May, I think is what he said. But then he said, basically, he's paraphrasing, that he will get it back for episode 8. So he's going to be in episode 8. Because, the reason that's weird is because we thought maybe he'll die. But she could still die in episode 9. I'm sorry. He'll be back in episode 9.
He'll be back in episode 9.
That's
correct.
right. So, we're kind of thinking like maybe he might bite the dust in episode 8 or even 9. But now we know that maybe he won't die in episode 8. But he could and come back as a Force Ghost in 9 and have to grow his beard back. So doesn't discount that he might pass away in episode 8. Nonetheless, Mark Hamill will be in episode 9.
But maybe as a Force Ghost.
Maybe as a Force Ghost. Maybe. You never know with these.
So what do you think?
Movies.
You think he dies?
I don't think he does. I don't know. I don't think so. He might be at the very end of 9. Perhaps.
So I just did quick calculations.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I think they did the same thing. They did the same thing last year.
Oh, right.
100 days from this evening. Because when was that posted? Was that posted this evening?
Yeah, an hour ago.
Okay. So 100 days from this evening is actually Thursday evening. So the 15th.
Okay.
Even though the release date is the 16th.
Yeah.
They're actually looks like they're counting it from when it actually opens on the Thursday night.
Sure.
So
That's when
100
we'll see
days
it. Yeah.
from tonight will be the day we see Rogue One.
Very good.
Love it.
Like it a lot.
Anyway, okay.
Okay. Anyways, so that's all for episode 9 news. I mean, there's some rumors about some scenes, fight scenes and whatnot, locations. So, we won't get into too much of that. If you want to look up the rumors, potential spoilers, go for it. How about it? Rogue One, not really. Still, not too much. They're editing right now, or should be wrapping up editing. I'm pretty much almost done with it. Scoring, maybe. I don't know. But nothing really news. As Dave said, we're going to talk about some toys, some Rogue One toys coming out that have been released. But other than that, there not too much really going on. There was, the tie-in novel, Rogue One Catalyst. There was a synopsis for that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second, I guess, after the films. But for the movie itself, not too much. Not too much at all.
I still am under the. I think I'm still under the belief. I don't know. I think we're going to get a barrage of TV spots for Rogue One. I'm not sure we're going to get another trailer.
Okay.
If we do, I think it's going to be like one of those 1 minute pieces where it's just a really quick trailer of new footage and stuff like that, but nothing. And in fact, I'm okay with that. Like,
sure.
I right now, unlike episode 7, I was okay with seeing more trailers.
Yeah.
This one, I actually, because I mean, face it, this is a prequel.
Yeah.
Technically, it's
Indeed.
a prequel. So you know that they are going to be successful in stealing the plans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because if they're not,
They
then
should.
episode 4 doesn't happen.
Yeah, unless there's some crazy twist. It's like, these aren't the guys that really did it. It's another guys or some other people. I don't know. But yeah, no, you're right.
So what you don't know is, I mean, obviously the locations, the connection with the father, you
Yes.
know, and then what Vader's involvement is. That's really to me, the big questions.
And
And how Saul Guerrera maybe factors in, but I don't feel like he's even that big of a part in it. I think he's a small part in it.
Yeah.
So, I think I don't want to see anything else.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't want to see how Vader's involved at all. Like what we've
Leading
seen of
up
him,
to it, yeah.
which I am in the belief, and obviously as we get closer, we'll do a lot more of our predictions. But I still under the belief that I don't think we actually see. I think we see a glimpse of Vader in the early on, but I don't think we actually get Vader until the end,
Yeah.
till the very end.
No, I kind of have feelings about that too. And kind of leads me to, I'm very interested to know more about Krennic as well.
Yeah,
And how he ties in with with the Emperor and with Vader, because there's kind of a triangle there. And I was looking through Star Wars' Instagram account, and I think it was a couple days ago, I'm not sure, but they posted a screenshot of Krennic from the trailer and a little caption saying like, if you were having to basically report to the Emperor on a very expensive and powerful Imperial weapon, you would look this stressed as well, or something like that. Anyways, but like it kind of taught me a little bit more about his character and how Krennic, he's trying to finish the Death Star. So that's kind of like his whole thing. He's just because it's been being built for the past 19 years. Why is it taking so long? Krennic is trying to finish up. He's probably got Emperor breathing down his neck, and maybe the Emperor is sending Vader because of that to help speed things along, and he feels pressured and feels a little bit defensive. Why Vader's, it's just like this is his job, not Vader's job, and he's probably mad about that. So I'm very interested to see what kind of a Star Wars villain he is. I don't think he's too much of a Tarkin like authoritative guy. I feel he's more of, as I said on the show before, he's kind of more, I don't know, maybe more of a very snarky, he's intimidating, sure, threatening, but I feel like once he gets kind of into Vader's presence or Emperor's presence, he kind of shrinks back a little bit.
you're right.
And maybe grits his teeth behind the scenes, but then like to their faces, like, of course I'll do whatever you want. So I'm interested to see this kind of villain, because I don't think we've really seen this kind of Imperial villain on screen yet. Because Force Awakens, we still got Hux and Kylo Ren. They're still very Vader Tarkin like.
Yeah.
You know, you really didn't. You know, haven't really seen this kind of a character yet. I don't think, but I'm excited, very excited, all the time excited.
He's in what is he? Admiral? Or,
I don't know. Director, I think is the only
He's director.
I think it's the only
director.
title we've gotten is just director, Krennic, of like the military stuff, military ground, or something like that.
yeah, because he's in the white,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we saw a couple guys in the white.
Yularen has white.
Yularen's white, and he's a Colonel Yularen, right?
I think so.
He's a colonel, I think. So I'm not sure the color designates anything.
Maybe that doesn't. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. But
Yeah.
besides Rogue One, nothing on the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I suspect
Nothing.
we're not going to get anything of that for a while.
Yeah. And that is
Because they
all.
don't shoot that till next year, right?
Right. Next spring. I think March, I think maybe.
Yeah, so they're still prepping for that. And of course, Rogue One being the movie they're trying to push right now.
Yeah.
But all next year is Episode 8. Starting with, obviously, Celebration for sure.
There was a new droid revealed.
Yes, there was.
From the Star Wars show. C2B5. Basically the Imperial version of R2-D2.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we'll get of him in the film, but they decided to reveal him, and so therefore we are talking about it.
Therefore, he is revealed.
Therefore, it's they wanted it, and it shall be done, and it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
That is all. C2B5, K2SO, 2 new droids for this movie.
Okay, so obviously nothing on the Rebels front except a little more. There was a teaser that came out a little bit, pushing a little bit more Thrawn.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That was great.
No, it's for the
30,
season 3
40 second
premiere.
trailer.
Yeah, which is September 24th on Disney XD, which is a Saturday. I don't think it's. Is it regularly on Saturdays now, or is it? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think it actually did move, but I don't think it
I don't
moved.
remember being on Saturdays last season.
No, it was on Mondays.
Or they just moved it. They just announced that they would move it, probably.
I think they did move it. So Rebels, coming out very, very soon. Rebels Season 2 is out on Blu-ray. Last week I failed to get it this weekend. I'm going to get it probably tomorrow. So that's out anywhere you pick up your Blu-ray still. I don't think we mentioned it. I think it hits Netflix a little bit later in the month. I don't think it'll be on by the time the premiere happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But because usually which is kind of weird. Usually they try to get it out a little bit before the premiere so you can kind of get caught up. But you're gonna have to go buy it to get caught up. Okay. Besides that, I guess before we get into toys, let's talk about Catalyst.
Catalyst. So the novel side, the prequel novel to Rogue One called Star Wars Catalyst. The cover, it was announced, I think on a Star Wars show, but the cover was revealed. Was it also a Star Wars show, or was that Celebration? The Celebration, the cover was revealed.
Yeah, Celebration. The cover.
They just released, as in I guess Lucasfilm or whomever, revealed the synopsis for the novel, which is written by James Luceno. Awesome Star Wars, well, just novelist, but also Star Wars novelist. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just I'll skim through the synopsis here. So, one thing that is revealed here is actually when it takes place. And it sounds like it takes place during the Clone Wars, which is crazy.
Yes.
So, war is tearing apart the galaxy. For years, the Republic and the Separatists have battled across the stars, going back and forth. As a member of Chancellor Palpatine's top secret Death Star project. So notice they say Chancellor Palpatine, not Emperor Palpatine, because this is the Clone Wars. So during Chancellor Palpatine's era,
right,
his top secret Death Star project, Orson Krennic Director Krennic, but not director yet. Orson Krennic is determined to develop a super weapon before their enemies can. And an old friend of Krennic's, the brilliant scientist Galen Erso, could be the key. Old friends. So apparently Krennic and Galen Erso, Jen's father, were old friends during the Clone Wars. Galen's energy-focused research has captured the attention of both Krennic and his foes, making the scientist a crucial pawn in the galactic conflict. It sounds like the same thing that's happening in Rogue One. But after Krennic rescues Galen, his wife, Lyra, and their young daughter, Jyn, from separatist kidnappers, the Erso family is deeply in Krennic's debt. Krennic then offers Galen an extraordinary opportunity to continue his scientific studies with every resource put utterly at his disposal. While Galen and Lyra believe that his energy research will be used purely in altruistic ways, Krennic has other plans that will finally make the Death Star a reality. Trapped in their benefactor's tightening grasp, the Ursos must untangle Krennic's web of deception to save themselves and the galaxy itself. Wow. That is crazy.
Crazy.
What a prequel.
Okay, let me get this straight then. So Krennic is on the Republic side.
Yeah.
And he's thinking he needs to build the Death Star to end the Separatists?
I think just to have it, that and just
Before the Separatists build something? Is that what he's saying?
I think so. Basically, he's trying to do a preemptive super weapon thing. We got to read the book to fully understand this whole thing because of course Dooku has the Death Star plans in Attack of the Clones. He shows the Separatists the Death Star plans. Right?
Well, the Separatists know about it, yes.
Yeah, that's right. They're a super weapon.
They know, but they're like, we can't let the Republic know that what we're planning on building, basically.
So, but this is all top secret what Krennic's doing. So, it is strange.
Well, obviously, again, Palpatine is playing both sides.
Yeah.
It seems like he's given the plans to both parties.
Yeah, be like, who can come up with this the fastest, maybe?
Basically.
You know?
Or he's like, Krennic, look what the Separatists have.
Yeah.
We need to build this first.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's over there at the Dooku saying, let them see what we can build. And so we can end the Republic, kind of thing.
Because the Geonosians, they have stuff that help.
Apparently, according to Rebels, it gets built. The Death Star starts getting built at the orbit of Geonosis.
Okay,
and something happens that kind of wipes them out. Because I think we're going to learn that this season or something like that.
Krennic,
maybe. I mean, it's going to be tied in somehow.
That is so sweet.
It's going to be tied in somehow. All this is going to tie in. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah,
but that's a deep story. That's a deep.
They have a hand in that. Yeah, it is. That's a movie.
That is a movie. That's its own movie. This. Yeah, it is its own movie. Or or it seems like an arc in the Clone Wars that needs to be told
absolutely.
somehow.
Another thing this kind of talks about or raises, kind of begs the question is, there are flashbacks in Rogue One.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Well, we've seen stuff of like a young girl,
but it could be her dreaming, and then she wakes up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It might not be an actual flashback.
Sure.
But I get it.
But there are scenes shot that possibly take place during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Like they can't get. It's hard to get more connected than that unless you show Hayden Christensen or something like that.
Yes.
It's like you have scenes during the Clone Wars in this.
Oh, so Ahsoka. No, they won't do that. They won't do that. They won't do that.
Ashley Eckstein could play her too. Like
I know, right?
Perfect.
Yes.
Oh man, that'd be so cool. But I'm very excited what Rogue One could just mean in tying these two eras together.
Yes, and that would be Rebels is doing a great job.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yes, in the live action realm, that would be incredible because we're getting that a little bit with Bail Organa, obviously,
absolutely.
right? With Jimmy Smits coming over. Technically, the woman is it Guinevere playing Mon Mothma was in episode 3, but scenes got cut.
Yeah,
so technically she's a connection as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad they made that connection there. But yes, to to literally reference in live action form. God, if we see just one slice of battle of the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
like that would be.
I see like
I'd push it over the edge.
Republic clone armor.
Yes.
You know?
Oh,
And battle
God.
droids.
Yes.
Because like if Jin does dream about being rescued by Krennic, like you see some like battle droids or super battle
Like
droids
what
with
if
a
it's
shooter?
what if it's Captain Rex?
That would be so cool.
Right?
Oh my
I mean, it
God.
could be
Like
easily
to see like the color of the armors, right?
because he wasn't in live action.
Yeah, like a wolf print.
Yes.
Even like they went that far. To put the wolf.
Because he has like the blue with the.
Yeah.
You know the. I mean,
Yeah.
he's clearly identifiable.
Yeah. So I like to just show the armor. He doesn't have to talk and
No.
say, "Hey, it's Rex." Just show it. That's all.
Yes,
That's all you need.
but he's gonna sound like Tamora Morrison.
Yeah, that's just
Right.
fine. Yeah, he'd have to.
Right. So.
That's so cool, man. Like,
God, if they thought of that, that would be that would go beyond anything I expect out of Rogue One. I mean, that would be, that's purely for the fans.
Oh, true
fans
Yeah.
of the Clone Wars, especially because so many people want that series,
Mm-hmm.
wanted that series to continue, and I feel like it just never ended the way it should have, and we're getting kind of the ending of a lot of things in Rebels from it, but still,
Right.
it's not the same.
right. It's just.
So that book comes out. When does that book come out?
Let me pull it up here.
I know it comes out before the movie.
November 15th.
Yeah, November
Wow.
15th. So a month. You have a month to read that. I might have to try to read that. Like,
I'm gonna try to read it before.
I gotta try to read that
yes,
for the movie.
Absolutely.
I think that would plug in so many freaking holes. That's
And like, I wonder if Krennic knows Anakin is Vader. You know, if
is that a junior novel or a novel?
It's a Del Rey.
It's a full novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a Del Rey novel. Good.
Yeah.
Adult novel. Okay. You think what now? Wait.
Like Krennic, I wonder if he knows Vader's Anakin. Like he would. I feel like he might have been around.
He probably
the Jedi.
should know.
At least know of Anakin Skywalker. I mean, if he's that close to the Palpatine, then maybe
He might not know of it. I don't know how many people.
probably not many.
Yeah, because
He'd probably be dead if he knew.
yeah, you know, because Palpatine was only there with a couple of shock troopers when he found him,
True.
and he took him straight to the lab. So it's like, and his name's Darth Vader. So it's like, you know, I don't know how many people will actually, believe that's or even know
Yeah.
that that's Anakin.
I don't know, man. Interesting. Good.
But it also begs the question too about how many of these Republic officers started believing into the Empire. You know what I mean? Because to them it's the same thing, except now it's just a little bit more militarized.
Exactly.
There's no Jedi anymore.
Yeah.
Instead of Jedi, we have stormtroopers and police and more military, right?
I mean, to them, it's like if they believe in the Jedi uprising.
Correct.
It's like, well, we have to be like this.
If they believe the Jedi were evil,
Yeah.
and they were trying to take over the galaxy,
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically how the Emperor basically became the Emperor, right?
Yeah.
He told the Senate, "Look what they did to me. They tried to take over. We suppressed them, and now we're fighting back, and we're ending this, and then we're going to end the war." And then everybody's like, "I mean, what?" Just Padme's lines, right?
Diplomacy dies, or
This is how diplomacy dies,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it makes sense. Like it's hard. It's you know, after 11 years now since Revenge of the Sith, I get behind the idea so much more. Like I can believe why people got behind the idea of the Empire.
Yes.
It's like, well, because you know, all that you know is what you're presented to you. It's people of course maybe would question. It's like, oh, I don't know if this is true or not. Sure, but why wouldn't you believe the Jedi? Yeah, okay, of course the Jedi. We had to be like this, so the Jedi, nothing like this would happen again.
Yes. And we need a military like this so that there's not a civil war, right? Because that's what they feel like is all of a sudden there's these rebels, and they're the bad guys. Technically, the rebels are like the separatists. I mean, how different are they from the separatists?
Yeah.
They're truly trying to restore order to where they know that they're when it was really good and how they were deceived. But people are like, what are these? Who are these rebels? Why are they fighting against? Even though over the years, granted, over the 19 years, I feel like the Empire started ruling by fear, right?
Exactly.
That's the Tarkin doctrine, right? So they started. Although I think that's still real.
Yeah.
Is
well,
it-
it's not called. I don't think it's really called the Tarkin doctrine anymore. But yeah, it's basically
The rule by
Tarkin
fear
doctrine.
thing,
Yeah.
where you know.
I mean, Tarkin says that too.
Yes, so it's like, you know, we're going to build this military up. We're going to build the Death Star.
Yeah.
Anybody opposes us, you're going to just
Yeah.
get destroyed.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of doesn't like it then, but necessarily, but they go with it. And there's probably still some like Krennic who believe in, okay, I'm in this position. I'm going to go with this because
Yeah.
I'm living a good life, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm an officer in the,
Yeah.
you know, Tarkin's the same way. And you guys like Mahdi and, you know, and
Piet and those guys.
and Tag and Piet. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they're just they're just
I mean, you got
part of
power,
a
you got
when you're
authority.
part of a military.
Yeah.
What do? You take orders.
Yeah.
and that's all you do. You don't question really your orders. You
Right.
just take them. So yeah, it's clear that when this, you know, if they believe the Separatists were the bad guys, they believe the Jedi were the bad guys. Then once that gets put down, you're going to stay with the team that won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
It is, if you look at it like that, just kind of like what we said a couple weeks ago when Filoni was saying how the prequels were the failures of the Jedi. I mean, they failed in not just, you know, not just stopping the war from happening, but they failed in keeping the trust of the citizens.
Yeah.
Right? You know, they and obviously a lot of that had to do with Palpatine, but it's like, you know, no one believed in the Jedi anymore. You know, as their numbers kept dwindling and dwindling till there's only a couple hundred left. It's like, you know, how do you show the galaxy that you're still the good guys? You know, when everything else is falling apart. So it's, God. So see that's the thing is like it really what George was doing was George was trying to make this about the Skywalkers,
Right.
right? It's
Yeah.
Anakin's fall in the prequels, and then it's his kid's ability to redeem him, right?
Yeah.
And again, to him, that was the story. But what I think Kathleen is doing, Kennedy that is, and the story group is they truly, and I think they've done this flawlessly so far. They have taken all of these other stories from all these novels, Filoni with the TV shows, with Rogue One and all these other movies. What they truly have done is they've reshaped, to me in a way, they've reshaped what the original 6 movies
Yeah.
are about. It's a
You can view it from a different.
it's a lot deeper
Yeah.
and bigger than just the Skywalker family.
Yeah.
And they've turned that because of all this other material, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're giving so much more backstory
Mm-hmm.
and so much more storyline in all these other instances
Yeah.
around it. You know what I mean? Like, again, like episode 4, I mean, all you really know for 20 something years was that this little band of rebels stole these plans and destroyed. Now we're going to know how they stole the plans,
Yeah.
who stole the plans,
Yeah.
you know, and what went into it, which just adds to, you know, that time when Vader walks on that Tantive 4. It's like, guys, you know what it took to get there
Yeah.
before you didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So it's so
Yeah.
much broader and bigger now, and that's what makes those movies. To me, I think they're making the movies better.
No, to me they are.
I mean,
yeah.
ultimately, they're making them
Yeah.
way more interesting
Yeah.
than what they already are.
That, yeah.
That's freaking incredible, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing, and it's mind blowing to actually think that you can make a film, a literal, I mean, to the minute prequel to the original Star Wars. So we're almost 40 years from the release of Episode 4. 40 years, and you're making a movie that literally butts right up before it.
Yeah.
And I have no doubts it's going to be a flawless connection, you know, and it's not going to, you're not going to watch Episode 4 and be like, oh man, that's wrong. That's not right. You know, or find some
Yeah.
plot hole. I think
Yeah.
they're really doing an incredible job not creating plot holes is what, you know, that's the hard part. is, I mean, making a mistake
Yeah.
where something's wrong in this, and then and then it's carried over into a movie that it's already been out. I don't know. It's incredible what the story group is really doing.
Oh, gosh, I wish I can sit.
And one of them
just
was
one
on
meeting.
the last week's Star Wars show. Rain Roberts.
Yeah.
She's been on a story group, I think, for the last couple of years now.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to hear her talk a little bit about it, about what they do and how it's. And actually, she's. Did you watch that one?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Do you believe this? She came up with the idea of everyone looking for Luke in Episode 7. She said they were all sitting around with, and this is when Michael Arndt was still part of it, and they were all sitting around on what the movie could be about, blah, blah, blah. And they started talking about maps or something like that, and she mentioned, well, what about everybody in this movie, both sides, are looking for Luke? And they were like, oh my God, that's it. And then they took that to JJ, that idea, and then he loved it, and then he came on board kind of thing, so.
That's just nuts. To be,
Yeah.
I want to be part of it.
What do you think about just sitting in a room and thinking about Star Wars all day and like, how does this work? How does that work? And
Shifting galaxies and creating stories like that.
yeah,
I just can't handle it.
I came up with I won't say it on here, but I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
I got a killer Yoda story.
All right.
'Cause Yoda's my favorite. So I gotta get a hold of Leland and pitch it. That's what I gotta do. Anyway, so let's get into, that was kind of a rant on the,
Yeah, it's all
just,
good.
I mean, it's just incredible. I think you have to, I really think a lot of people out there that are, have always been kind of against the prequels. And I just think that all this additional material is really changing the way you view those movies.
Yeah.
And it just makes them so much better. Okay, so other than all that, just a wave of new products coming. Merchandising. Now, they haven't officially announced it, but it seems to me, or maybe I'm missing it, and please tell me out there if I am, it seems to me that September 30th looks like it's going to be Force Friday. Because all of this material, well, most of it anyway, I haven't seen all the release dates, but it looks like everything is getting released on September 30th.
Cool.
Now, if everybody remembers last year,
Yeah.
they advertised Force Friday. I mean, it's the day that all this new Episode 7 stuff came out, Rebel stuff came out, all these books, blah, 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 blah. I spent a lot of money that day. Jeb, who works with me, worked. I mean, he bought that Kylo Ren lightsaber right there. Yeah. And so anyway, it looks like that is coming to us. Now, if you kind of search online, there's all kinds of, you can see just all the figures that are coming out. I'll point out a few of them here, the ones I'm looking forward to. So there's a list on Funko with all the pops that are coming out, all these Rogue One pops.
Sweet.
Which are interesting. I noticed there's two Vaders. One, he's just standing. Where's mine's at the office.
Yeah.
He's just standing there with his hands on his belt.
Yeah.
And then the other one, he's actually force choke. Like he's got the force choke sign. So
Probably Force chokes Krennic.
he probably force chokes a lot of people on Rogue One because
That's his thing.
real quick about the books thing. I just wanted to, for those of you big fans of the original Thrawn trilogy. Have you seen the new covers?
I have, and they look awesome.
They're pretty incredible. If you guys are now, regardless of how you feel about the expanded universe, blah blah blah, but these books were incredible and are incredible still, and the covers come together and make one big image. But it's the original Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. Those are coming out spring of next year, so brand new covers of those.
So many, like the Star Wars books have just been fantastic
Yes,
so far. I'm so excited about what's coming.
I know. So Funko's got director Orson Krennic, who we're talking about, Jen Erso. There's already. They've already actually released. No, they haven't. It's coming. So Disney, the Disney Store, is doing, of course, a whole new. Last year I talked about how they released the diecast Elite figures, Elite series. So they're doing a whole new Elite series with the Rogue One. They've got on September 30th. They've got I think they said 10, or was it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 8. They have 8 figures coming out on September 30th. Pretty awesome, Jyn Erso, which you can already pre-order on DisneyStore.com if you want. But the other ones are obviously it's mostly all the Rebels and the droids. They have not released Vader, which I'm sure they're going to. They haven't released Krennic yet. They haven't released any of the other, I think they did release what the Death Trooper looks like, and I think one of the other looking stormtroopers with the different helmets or something like that.
The Death.
Isn't there a white helmet too? That's a little off. There's another one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you got then you got just the regular Hasbro carded figures coming out. Little not 6-inch ones, but the 3.75 inch ones.
Yeah.
You got all those guys coming out. You can see previews of all those. Which they have released, at least at Celebration, they released the Black Series Jyn Erso. So I'm sure there's going to be a ton of Black Series.
Sure.
Those the figures, the 6-inch ones are just I think those other ones look too small now.
Yeah.
Once you get the Black Series out. But yeah, so and just a ton of, you can look at it. There's just a ton of toys coming that day. I think, again, like I said, I haven't heard that it's called Force Friday yet, but it seems like September 30th is the day that everything is getting released on the toy line. So get to your local stores, check that out. I will be in Disney World on September 30th. I am going on vacation to Disney World, so I will be in Disney World for Force Friday, which I'm pretty stoked about.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we were going to go to Hollywood Studios that Friday, but we're going when we get there on Thursday. So Thursday night, I'll be watching that Star Wars Spectacular thing they do at night in Hollywood Studios. Have you seen that yet?
That's new since I've been there.
It's been going on for about a year now.
Yeah.
Do you know they're getting rid of Star Wars weekends?
Because I have Star Wars every day.
Because it's Star Wars every day.
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like,
yeah.
well, yeah, that makes sense. It's Star Wars everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, the really cool thing, have you heard about this? I don't know if I
probably have. I can't remember.
No, it's about the
the
Jawas. Did I tell you about the Jawas thing?
I don't think so.
So apparently, I think I've heard this by somebody telling me this, but I heard from a friend of mine. They were like, "Did you hear that they made kind of a restaurant, a cantina restaurant?"
Yeah.
Now it doesn't look. I don't think it looks like the cantina, but it's called the cantina. Mm-hmm. So it's like Star Wars themed, right inside. Well, Brooke, my wife, was telling me that she read how occasionally, so it's not all the time, occasionally there's Jawas in there, and you can go up to them and trade with them, like trade pins.
Yeah, the Disney pins,
and then they'll trade pins, or if you like give them something else, they'll trade something else. It's just they act like full Jawas.
I want to live there.
It's freaking awesome.
To be there now.
I just can't wait till they get the theme park going.
Yeah,
I mean that's gonna be incredible. Which I just can't wait for that. I hope there's some construction going on because I want to see it. But anyway, yeah. So I'll be there for Force Friday. Hopefully, there's some good shirts and stuff that come out there. I can't. I won't be able to buy figures because I'll be afraid they get damaged on the way back. But
true.
But I know people here at the Disney Store, they'll hold me. All right. think that's really it. What else we got? Is that about it?
Some little slight video game news. That Visceral game, the Star Wars Visceral game that we kind of got a little small glimpse of at
Yeah.
Celebration. Some more news about it. Apparently, I mean, this actually isn't too new. I guess I'm just not reading about it. I don't know. But it's going to be the original story, and that Han Solo will be involved in some capacity in this video game, which will come out in 2018, close to the Han Solo movie. So it's going to be a third-person shooter with a youngish Han Solo. That's kind of one of the rumors going around there. And it almost sounds like Han Solo is going to be like actually a character in this game. If not, you play as Han Solo, as a young Han Solo, or he's just involved with it somehow. Which sounds awesome because the game is kind of like Uncharted. You know, which was a great games, and the small glimpse of footage that we got from Celebration for this Visceral game, I'm already very excited about, and to know that Han Solo might have involvement in it, like I hope that it's for Xbox One, because the Uncharted games were all for PS4. I don't know if they talked about this yet. I don't know if it's been announced, but I hope it's for Xbox because I want to play this so bad.
Yeah.
But we gotta wait till 2018, around the time where the Han Solo movie will be coming out. So that's about it.
It's about it.
It's about it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, 100 days from Rogue One. Let's do some profiling
in the good
this
way.
canon stuff. Yeah.
All right. So
got?
from me, from the DK book, Ultimate Star Wars, I'm talking about the Feed Power Generator. So this is the kind of the final showdown area between Maul, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon in A Phantom Menace. So the Feed, from the town of Naboo, Feed Power Generator, appearances, Episode 1, location, Feed Naboo. I mean, it's a pretty small little part in this thing, but, you know, I feel like I was, of all the things in that final act of Phantom Menace, this location was the one thing I was like, what is this place? Like, how are they finding themselves all around these corridors and levels and platforms and through this, like, shield, this, like, red shield blast doors or whatever they're called? So it talks a little bit about it in this little blurb. So it's in the capital city of Theed. It's a power generator where the planet's natural plasma reserves are refined and used as a source of efficient energy. So it's just a big power generator for the planet. It's like a power plant. And so what it does, it farms plasma reserves, which sounds cool, I guess. Mm-hmm. Building also houses hangar facilities for the starfighters that we saw in the film, for the Royal Naboo Security Forces. It's, you know, talks about how it's built, that kind of stuff. Talks about the final showdown with the Jedi and the Sith. And it briefly mentions and it calls it here, a series of laser gates that they keep going through that, you know, turn off and on at the end there. One thing I kind of like, though, it's, you know, has nothing to do with the location, but it's a nice little thing about Darth Maul. It says here, a series of laser gates separates the Jedi, allowing Maul to get the upper hand and kill Qui-Gon. Then it says, Obi-Wan defeats Maul and casts his body into a reactor shaft. So they're smart to not say that Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul, because obviously he doesn't die. But I feel like that would be an easy mistake, perhaps. But you got Story Group behind this. You got, you know, the one and only. I think Hidalgo had a huge hand in this, so
Yeah.
he would not have made that mistake. But yeah, so that is the Feed Power Generator. It farms plasma reserves, which is natural to the planet of Naboo. Who knew that was that?
Okay, so I am in, of course, absolutely everything you need to know, and I have just read something quite disturbing
Oh, gosh. Okay.
that
Hit
we may have to talk about it on our next
Oh.
show a lot
Alrighty.
because this is canon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to read this because I was opening up because like we're talking about the Death Star. I was going to do some facts about the Death Star,
Yeah.
and I will. But this, I read this is interesting. Strange. It says strange but true. Okay, ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Emperor Palpatine executes the designer responsible for the first Death Star's weak spot.
Palpatine executes the designer.
Responsible for the first Death Star's weak spot.
Okay.
But this is where it gets even weirder.
Okay.
He then clones him and makes him design Death Star 2 without the fault.
What? What? Oh,
What the?
Clones.
What did I just read?
He kills the guy and then clones him to help him build Death Star 2.
Yes.
What the heck? Is that Krennic, you think?
Well, isn't it Galen?
Galen or so?
Isn't he the designer or the architect?
That says what we're going to find out from Rogue One exactly how much of a hand did he have in it. Ooh. So maybe Palpatine kills Galen Erso. But that will be after... That almost makes me think it happens, obviously, after
So he
episode 4.
survives Rogue One.
Yeah.
Somebody survives Rogue One. And it doesn't happen until after the Death Star is destroyed. Right?
Yeah.
Emperor Palpatine executes the designer responsible for the first Death Star's weak spot. He then clones him and makes him design Death Star 2 without the fault. I mean, what? I just read that and was like, what the heck? We were just talking about this.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to kind of point out the facts real quick of, if you didn't know, the differences between Death Star 1 and Death Star 2.
Yeah.
So for one, the diameter. The diameter of Death Star 1 was 120 kilometers. For you in the States, that's 75 miles. Death Star 2 was 160 kilometers, 99 miles. So bigger. The commander of Death Star 1, obviously Grand Moff Tarkin. The commander of Death Star 2 was Moff Jared. The total crew on the Death Star 1, 342,953. Total crew, nearly double, 637,835. Turbo laser batteries on Death Star 1, 15,000. On Death Star 2, 30,000. Super laser recharge time, get this, Death Star 1, 24 hours. Death Star 2, 3 minutes. So run.
Yeah.
Tractor beam emplacements, both had 768. And then, of course, the cost of building a Death Star in Galactic Credits, 1 trillion plus.
1 trillion credits.
Anyway, I cannot believe I just read that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's like, how is that canon? Like, where did that come from? Was that an EU thing brought in?
No, I think obviously they
They're
kind of
just-
knew the story
Yeah.
and they just hinted at
I want-
something.
so-
but no one, unless you read this, you don't know that.
So you,
Unless that's in a book somewhere, but I don't think
And
I don't think it's in a book anywhere. I think people would be talking
if
about
that
that.
ties into Rogue One, what the heck? That'd be so crazy.
But I mean, it's kind of vague in a sense where it's the designer of the fault.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't quite the actual designer. Maybe it was like an engineering thing.
Yeah.
Like someone is like, you know what?
But he got him to help
We
him
got
build-
this thing needs an exhaust port.
Yeah. I like it. Put it in there now.
Like I think this needs it's missing an exhaust port. I really
Yeah.
think there needs to be an exhaust port. But there's no way you can get a missile. You know,
Yeah.
there's no way proton torpedoes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, proton torpedoes could fit.
Yeah.
But there's no way anybody can make it.
Come on. Come on. You got a trench. You got to go through the trench. You got to go through.
Yeah,
all
you
these-
got
Come on.
you got super lasers and everything.
And then we'll have Vader go after him. Like, what the heck?
I mean, if there were Jedi, maybe they
Yeah.
can be somebody.
Yeah,
Could,
if there was one Jedi, let's just say he was a child of the guy who was born of the Force. I don't know.
yeah,
If
exactly.
that,
Yeah.
he's dead. He's dead now. So he used that guy to build the Death Star 2. That's crazy.
He cloned him
Cloned him.
just so that he wouldn't
Yeah.
make the same mistake.
Yeah.
It's like you don't get another guy; you just clone the same guy. So he kills him,
Yeah.
but keeps him in his body,
Yeah.
or not have to keep the body. I guess just keeps a DNA sample
Yeah.
and then clones him.
I killed you, so do it again.
Which, see, again, that brings up like that. I mean, that could open up a whole can of worms on that. Cloning is still going on around that time, which means did he clone himself? Did he clone himself? Because he did in the expanded universe.
Yeah.
Is he Snoke? Is that a clone gone wrong? Mm-hmm. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Food for thought. All right, everybody. Oh, excuse me. That'll do it for our show here. InsideTheForce.com. You can go there and catch up on all the shows. You can check out the 21 Network for all the other Star Wars podcasts that's going on right now. You can go ahead and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, Inside the Force. Of course, you can subscribe to us if you don't want to just go to the website every time. We are on Stitcher, iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and iTunes. Of course, the RSS feed is at feedburner.com/Inside the Force. He's Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I am D. Cottingham21 on Twitter. Come back next week as we get more Inside the Force. For Case Cooley.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force. So, there's that.
Yeah.
Next to the power of the Force.
I wish I could talk like James Earl
Yeah.
Jones. That would be incredible. I'd probably have a job doing voiceover
Yeah.
if I did.
Yep.
Very good, very good. Everybody, again, 100 days away. I cannot believe it. It seems like when we did 100 days from Force Awakens, it like flew by.
Absolutely.
I mean, just flew by. Next thing I know, it was 90, then 70, then 60. Next thing you know, we're gonna be talking about getting ready for episode 8.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks for checking us out. I gave out all the information, so we're good.
Sure.
He's Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.